Over the past few days, we've seen the destruction that drugs can have on the lives of those who use. And we've explored the reasons why our government is waging this war on drugs. Today, Tom Hansen heads to the front lines of this battle.
Early morning in Omaha, Nebraska. Most of the people in this Midwestern city are fast asleep, but the Drug Enforcement Administration is hard at work.
Get your hands up! Get on the ground!
Trying to shut down a drug ring.
Police with the warrant! Open the door, now!
This raid behind me has taken 2 months to set up, but it's part of a larger investigation that's been going on for almost 2 years. A big-time operation in small-town America. One example of the estimated $15 billion spent every year to crack down on the drug trade. That's $500 per second.
Police, come to the door! We have a warrant!
Money funding the troops taking down enemy number one in this war, drug dealers. With this game of cat and mouse, what's the challenge when all the houses look the same?
We have to use, intelligence and information to lead us to a specific location. There is no red beacon flashing on top of this house saying that, come get me, I'm a methamphetamine trafficker, I'm a drug trafficker.
After several arrests, we were granted permission to enter this stash house. Here are some signs that this person is in the drug trade. This is a bug detector to tell if someone's wearing a mic when they walk in the home. And then over here you have some syringes which suggest that they may be using drugs. And then over here, this is a police scanner that detects when police are on the way. After searching the house, this is what the DEA found: about $8,000 to $10,000 worth of cash and half an ounce of meth. And that's gonna land these people some felony charges. Back at the station, the holding room filled with more and more dealers and users, many of them strung out on drugs. In all, a successful day for the DEA.
This investigation and the results of this investigation are a great example of how law enforcement can achieve a unified goal of dismantling this entire organization from top to bottom.
We made the connection from Omaha, Nebraska to the Sinaloa area of Mexico.
A direct link between drugs in America and ruthless cartels, organized drug gangs in Mexico. But how? We went to Nogales, Arizona to find out. Here, thousands of cars cross the US-Mexico border each day, and with that, a constant flow of drugs. At ports of entry like this one, Customs and Border Protection officers, or CBP officers, have the ability to dismantle a car if they suspect that there are drugs inside of it. Cars go through thorough inspections, canine searches, even giant X-ray machines. Officers just stopped this car and they say they found a lead-lined box in the bumper and they think that drugs might be inside of it. Today, the CBP scores a major bust. In the bumper, we found 25 to 30 pounds of crystal meth. That's millions of dollars worth of crystal meth. And then we've also found 2 pounds of brown heroin that was manufactured in Mexico. How would you compare this to other seizures that you've made?
I've never seen a seizure like this. This is a significant seizure.
While the CBP stopped these drugs from coming through, it's hard to know just how much gets by these checkpoints.
It's a constant battle. It's something that we try to defeat.
Agent Marcia Armendariz works with the CBP.
We get a lot of mixed loads. What we call mixed loads is either cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine together.
She's seen firsthand the crazy lengths people go to get drugs across the border.
Women use their own kids to strap drugs on them. Our youngest has been a 12-year-old.
Wow.
You have to be alert and, talk to these people, ask them where they're coming from, get their story straight, and not underestimate anybody. Unfortunately, that's the way it is now.
Here in the CBP trophy room, some of the most elaborate examples of what they've confiscated.
This is actually the whole transmission, and you could see where they hide their drugs.
Wow. And with cartels getting more and more creative, it's undeniable that thousands of pounds are crossing over from Mexico and into the hands of Americans each day, highlighting an enormous demand. According to the US government, Americans spend $100 billion on drugs every year.
It's a supply and demand business. If we continue to demand the substance, somebody is going to supply it.
Cartels sell the drugs, Americans buy the drugs, and law enforcement makes drug arrests. And the vicious cycle of the war on drugs goes on and on and on.
We've made a mistake in that we put this in a context of a war. A war connotates an ending. You're going to war, you're going to fight, you're going to win, or you're going to lose. There's going to be an ending. No, it's not going to end. There will always be people that want to do this.
But it's not just the U.S. being affected. American drug use is funding an all-out war next door in Mexico. Next week, we head across the border into cartel country, where unimaginable violence rages on, with no end in sight. Tom Hansen, Channel 1 News.